Okay, we have a shocking new update on the Nazca mummies and the Varginha alien. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, to start with, Joyce Mantilla, or Joyce Mantilla, journalist Joyce Mantilla, is taken to this site near a pyramid in the Nazca region. Yeah, and if you didn't know, Nazca has pyramids. Here's an image of various pyramids. There's a website you can go to learn more about some of these pyramids and what it might have looked like back in the day. The most famous of these pyramids is this one, the Kawak. Uh, I'm not even going to try, guys. The ceremonial center of the Nazca. Yeah, they had multiple pyramids as well as a bunch of big mounds. Really interesting. So Joyce Mantilla gets taken to the site near a pyramid where he learns there's an underground tunnel that was constructed. And about 25, 30 years ago, it was dynamited because there was a strange looking mummy found. Not a typical mummy. We don't have a lot of details about that, but it was a weird looking mummy. Could that be something like Maria or some of the other Nazca mummies? It seems likely that that is the case. But they came in and they dynamited the site and blocking up the entrance to this underground area of this place. So what does that mean? That seems to imply that the cover-up has existed. The cover-up in Peru has existed for at least that long. Yeah, where is it? Where is that body? I don't think we know where the body is now. If it was destroyed or seized. Yeah, it was a totally different. The mummy was totally different. Yeah, this is not in English, so I can't really play it, and it'd be annoying if I just tried to speed read these subtitles. So I'll link to this, and you can watch it at your leisure. But if you've read, Thierry Jamon's book about the Nazca mummies, the Men in Black were apparently, observing Thierry and the Vaqueros, and they were definitely on this to some extent. Now, has the cover up gone back 30 years? Well, obviously, it's gone back way further than that in America, in the US. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if it went back that far in Peru as well. And of course, if there's multiple sites of the mummies, which is what I've heard before, is that the Nazca mummies aren't simply found in one site. There may be one primary site, but they have been found in other places. If that's true, obviously this has been concealed from us. They have not shared those mummies with us, with the public, obviously. So we don't have a lot of information about this. Yeah, this is the entrance to this underground area that has been blocked up. Yeah, so very frustrating. Also, if you read Thierry Jamon's book, he was on the search for a lost city in that area. It was one of his primary goals in life was to find this lost city, and he finally does find it, only to discover that it had been looted by the president, who took in a bunch of helicopters, big helicopters, just like 6 months earlier or something, in the very recent past. It had been gotten to before Thierry could get there and had been looted by the government. What mysteries of the ancient world could have been revealed had that not been looted? Well, we may never know. Where is all that stuff now? What did they find? Again, we may never know. Very frustrating that these mysteries continue to be hidden from us. Okay, I did want to get to the other interesting thing that I came across. This is on the Steve Mira official channel, and where he is interviewing Nathan Gillis, who is involved in cutting edge research and has recognized the true aspects of this phenomenon. make sure to check out his new project and his mini YouTube podcast. Yeah, so I'll link to this and you can watch the full video. But I've talked before about the interesting artifacts that were taken from the Nazca, the citadel, the lab, the tomb, whatever we're calling it, were the primary site where the Nazca mummies were found. Well, among the treasure trove of artifacts, there was a little head that looks exactly like the Varginha aliens. So there seems to be a connection, if that thing is legit, between the Varginha aliens and the Nazca beings. So keep that in mind with what Nathaniel has to say here.
Where ufologists coming out saying, okay, yeah, these are aliens, aliens, aliens. Well, the Brazilians, the locals there, know that there's a forest that these beings were first witnessed in, and a practitioner of the occult built an altar in that forest and was performing rituals.
I've heard very similar things about this. Do you know a lot goes on in Brazil that we honestly, it's shocking.
Yeah, so that's about all the information there is. But there were sightings of these beings, possibly in connection to some sort of occult practices, which is very interesting. And of course, that you see that time and time again in ufology is the connection to occult practices, possibly because of a consciousness connection. The same idea that the psionics are using right now, but just encased in ritual and so on. I think that's likely. But yeah, so are the Virginia beings more terrestrial? If so, what were they doing in a UFO? Do they live here and just have access to this high technology? Is that what the Nazca mummies were doing? If the Virginia beings were terrestrial and we're here in the recent past, because the Virginia incident isn't that old, are they still around? There are numerous reports that the locals in the Nazca area and in South Peru, South America, see these beings occasionally coming and going from caves. And so is there an ongoing presence of these beings? In the Siberian alien case, and that being is a dead ringer for the little Nazca mummies, including the 3 holes on the side of its face. That was a living being recently. So is there an ongoing presence of these things? And that was not flying around in a UFO. From UFO Mania, and thank you, Ruben, for tagging me on this. I think I may have shared this video before, but it shows what might be little beings walking around. Is this Mexico City? A residential area in Mexico, so not Mexico City. But yeah, the little beings here, and I'll minimize my big head so you can get a better view of these little guys. Little guys crossing the road. Now, who knows if this is CGI or whatever? Very possible. But locals are reporting this, seeing these guys coming and going from caves. And there's, like the Siberian case and various other cases, Atacama case. Those were living beings, whatever they were, until recently. The Atacama being was only a few decades old when it was found. So is there an ongoing presence of these little guys around the world? What connection do the Virginia beings have with the Nazca beings? Are they all part of one big family? What does that mean? Did the creators of the Nazca beings are they the Virginia beings, or were they created by the same entity or same faction? What does it all mean, guys? I am just super fascinated. But either way, if Hoist Mantia's information is correct about the dynamiting that site to the underground area, it makes you wonder if there were possibly living beings down there, or if it connected to something that did, connect to some area where these beings were were and are still around, because that's the story you get from the Nazca mummy citadel, is that there are living beings down there, or that citadel connects to other tunnels and places where these beings do still live today. Is that what they're trying to hide from us? Not simply that there's these, we got bodies, y'all. We do. We've got bodies. Not simply that we have bodies of, these ancient beings, but there might still be an ongoing presence of these beings. How does any of this make sense? Maria seems to have had difficult living conditions. Multiple of them did. They had diseases, bacteria. Some of them died violently. If they did have access to UFO technology, as in the Varginha case, if they're connected, why would they be living harsh lives here on Earth when they could be gallivanting around in UFOs? Were they just dropped off by their creators? They were created to exist here, and their creators didn't really care what happened to them once they were here, after they had fulfilled their function, whatever that was. There's so many questions we need to answer. I hope we do get there, instead of, are they real or are they not real? Yeah, they're real. Well, let's start answering some questions about them and trying to dig into the truth of all of this. Obviously not made easier if indeed the powers that be are dynamiting entrances and otherwise trying to obfuscate and conceal the truth from us, which is par for the course, unfortunately, in ufology. It's so tantalizing, though, because it's like right there, but they never want you to get that final piece of the puzzle. Or at least, the link to the broader puzzle, because I think there's probably a lot of missing pieces in all of this. But let me know what you think about that. I just wanted to share those pieces of information, that there was a mysterious mummy found in a site, an underground site, or a site that led underground near a pyramid in the Nazca region. Also, that according to Nathaniel, the Virginia beings were seen, not just that one incident, and not just in connection to UFOs, but on the ground, possibly in connection to occult practices, which is interesting. So let me know what you think about that, and what you think about it all means, what connections that you see between it all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.